Toy Story, The Ultimate Toy Box. A box set of Toy Story 1 and 2 with a third DVD containing all the bonus features you could ever want about the franchise. When this was released back in the year 2000, DVD was still new and exciting, and this was considered one of the greatest DVD special edition box sets ever made. 25 years later now, and it's woefully out of date. Today on Mark's Movie Reviews, Toy Story 5. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of Mark's Movie Reviews. The very first computer animated film managed to kick off a franchise that is now stretched for 3 decades. You know, as I was getting ready to write this up, I was going to make the joke that the only 5th installment of a franchise I ever saw in the theater was Police Academy 5. But then I realized I'd seen every Jurassic Park movie in the theater, and who knows how they're numbering the Spider-Man films these days, so that's not completely true. But I know we all had the same thought when they announced Toy Story 5. Holy cash grab, Batman! And then they released the first concept art. You know, that concept art was of our heroes looking worriedly at Bonnie on a tablet. Everyone was like, ugh, it's just going to lecture us about screen time, isn't it? But I started to get mildly optimistic when I heard that Andrew Stanton was on board as a co-writer and director. You know, if Pixar had a 9 old men like Disney Animation did back in their golden age, Andrew Stanton would definitely be one of them. He's been with Pixar since the very beginning. He directed Finding Nemo and WALL-E, and he has co-written every Toy Story movie going all the way back to the first one. So with one of the progenitors of the franchise on board, maybe Toy Story 5 would be worth it after all. Anyway, as I've seen this entire franchise in the theater, I guess I'd better keep the streak alive. For those who've forgotten the last film, Woody is now out in the wild, rescuing lost toys, and Jessie has become the lead toy for the little girl Bonnie. Bonnie, of course, having inherited all of Andy's toys at the end of Toy Story 3.
Everybody got that?
Jessie, Buzz, and the gang have a new mission. Help Bonnie make friends. It turns out Bonnie is painfully shy. Bonnie's parents, however, have a different strategy. Seeing how all of Bonnie's classmates are glued to tablets, Bonnie's parents soon give one to Bonnie, a frog-themed tablet named Lilypad, or Lily for short. Maybe it's not all bad though, as Bonnie soon joins a group chat and gets invited to her first sleepover. Jessie's still not sure about this and sneaks along with Bonnie. Jessie winds up getting lost, though, and is soon back at the home of Emily, her original owner. Meanwhile, as Jessie poured her heart out to Woody via walkie-talkie about the situation, Woody misinterprets it as a literal call for help and comes racing home to help Jessie. And this quickly turns into Woody and Buzz on the road again as they search for Jessie. Will Jessie finally confront the demons from her past? Will Woody and Buzz find Jessie in time? Can playtime and screen time find a way to coexist? There's another reason why I knew I had to go see this in the theater. One of my comedy heroes, Conan O'Brien, shows up as a toy called Smarty Pants. He's a toy designed to help with toilet training and becomes Jessie's sidekick for a good portion of the film, and it is pure, unhinged Conan. He's absolutely hilarious. And speaking of Jessie, she really is the main character here, as we finally get closure on her story that started way back in Toy Story 2. And because this is the 5th film in a 30-year franchise, they really know how to milk that nostalgia. Within the first 5 minutes of the film, they're cranking up When She Loved Me, Jessie's song from Toy Story 2, and we're in a full-blown flashback. It's Pixar, so you know the animation is going to be amazing. As animated films are getting more and more stylized, I like that they changed up the animation style when we go into playtime and the fantasies that Bonnie is acting out. And of course, Woody and Buzz. After playing these characters for 30 years, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen still have it. And to be honest, I like Buzz a little bit better in this one. Toy Story 4 made him a bit of a moron, but he's back in fighting form here. The film does feel a little disjointed as we wind up following 4 different plots. We've got the Jessie plot, we've got the Woody and Buzz plot as they go on their search for Jessie, we've got Bonnie's plot as she struggles to make friends, and I didn't even touch on the 4th plot, where we follow a platoon of feral Buzz Lightyear action figures fighting their way through the wilderness. Every time we cut back to the Buzz platoon, you're like, what's the deal with these guys? But they do eventually have a role to play in the climax, but it was like, get on with it. Despite a disjointed plot, despite people questioning why this movie needed to exist, Pixar still knows how to take these characters and make a poignant story about growing up, love, and loss. When Pixar puts their minds to it, they still know how to hit you in the feels. 3.5 out of 4 nibs.